Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to show you how to make this easy cinnamon roll cake that tastes just like a cinnamon roll without all the work. You make it with simple ingredients that's in your pantry, and if you take this to a cookout, it is going to leave a lasting impression. It's also good for special times like breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Hang out with me and I'll show you how to put this together quickly. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit notifications so that you get all of our recipes as they post. Now, let's stir the pot. So this cinnamon roll cake uses very standard pantry staples that most every household is going to have in their pantry. So we will start by mixing our dry ingredients. So we have 1.5 cups of flour. We are using the cake flour, but you can use regular all-purpose flour. We will add to that our baking powder and our salt and our sugar. All of the measurements will be down in the description. And take a moment, give us a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification so you get all our recipes when they post. So we're just going to whisk these ingredients together, the dry ingredients. And since this is a cinnamon roll cake, we will also be adding a little bit of cinnamon. You can add this to your taste. I am going to be adding about a teaspoon of this right to the dry ingredients. I'm going to take a minute to heat up the oven before I add these wet ingredients. We will be cooking this in our Breville Smart Pro air fryer. You can cook it in a regular range if you would like. We're going to preset it for 350. So now we will add our wet ingredients. We will add milk. We are using 2%, 1 egg that I have beat at room temperature. I didn't beat it at room temperature. The egg was at room temperature. We'll be adding a 1/4 cup of melted butter and then a 1/4 cup of sour cream. Make sure that you get it all mixed. Any flour that may be on the bottom or the sides of your bowl. And now we're going to put in some vanilla flavoring. Put in about a teaspoon of this, or maybe a little bit more. I'll never measure vanilla. If I get too much, that's fine. We love vanilla anyway. So this is all mixed up. So now we're going to prepare an 8x8 pan. So let me grab that. I have prepared ours with Baker's Joy, but you can use any type of nonstick spray that you would like to use. I think the oven's ready. Or you can butter this, or you can use some vegetable oil. So however you choose to prepare your pan. And then we're just going to dump this in. So much better than rolling out dough, even though that's delicious. It's just time consuming. So now we're going to work on our cinnamon swirl. You'll start with 1/2 cup of butter that is softened, 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I did go a little bit over on that brown sugar, okay? You will also put in, how much? It says a teaspoon of cinnamon, but you know me, more is better. So we'll probably go a little bit more. And a tablespoon of flour. And we're going to stir this all together. So we've made our cinnamon swirl. We just stirred that all up together. It should look something like this. And we're going to take and we're going to dollop this on top of our cake batter. So I have all the dollops on here. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to swirl it in. I am using just a butter knife to do this with, but you could by all means use a chopstick, but you're just going to, don't go all the way to the bottom with your knife. How pretty is that? This is ready to go in the oven at 350 for approximately 30 minutes until it's done through and through. When you put a toothpick in and you pull it out and there's nothing on it, it's done. While our cake is baking, we're going to be making a cream cheese frosting. This is going to start with 4 ounces of cream cheese. We have 2 tablespoons of melted butter and some vanilla flavoring. So I'm going to mix this together. Actually, I'm just going to smash my cream cheese just a little bit. We have this mixed up and it's pretty smooth. We did start with room temperature cream cheese and then we had the butter that was melted. So that made a big difference in how this came together for us. So we will be adding our powdered sugar. We will add, that went in its clump. We will add this a little bit at a time. If you want to use your mixer when you start this, by all means do so. But watch that powder puff whenever you turn the mixer on. I'm adding a little bit more of my powdered sugar now, and it is coming together so beautifully. I have not put a mixer to this, guys. If you want to use a mixer, you can, but mixing it by hand, you can do that as well. Let me get at it. So we have 2 tablespoons of milk. We're using heavy whipping cream because that's what I had. And you will just add this to thin it out to the consistency that you would like on your cinnamon roll cake. And I like mine a little thicker, so I will not be adding a whole lot. This is about the consistency that we like. It is a little bit thicker. If you want yours thinner, by all means, add a little bit more milk. The recipe will call for 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. The reason for the variance is so you can get it to the consistency that you and your family like. This kind of brings back memories of opening up the can of Pillsbury cinnamon rolls and that little tin that they have in there with the frosting in it. But I bet this tastes so much better. It's delicious. We have a few more minutes before our cake has finished baking, and then we will let it cool for a moment, and then we will top it with this luscious frosting. Our cake is done, and she is beautiful. We're going to let her sit here and cool just a little, and then we're going to put some frosting on her. Our cake has cooled some, not all the way. You want it to be a little bit warm whenever you put your frosting on it. So you can put your frosting on any way that you would like. We're just going to drizzle ours over and then we may end up spreading it. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. This cake was beautiful though when it came out of the oven and it smells so good. This whole house is smelling good. I can't wait to have a piece. Wish I could hand one to y'all. So I ended up spreading it. There was a lot of frosting there and I didn't want to waste any of it. We're going to let it cool just a little bit more and then we're going to come back and we're going to taste this cinnamon roll cake. Now my favorite part is testing it. You know that the cook has to taste everything to make sure that it's good enough for who she's serving it to, or who he's serving it to. This cake turned out beautiful. You can see the cinnamon throughout the cake. And you can see it's kind of even separating a little where that cinnamon came down into it. And then the frosting where the cake is warm is just cascading down on that cake. I can hardly wait to see how this tastes. That is delicious. The cake is very moist. The crumb is soft. The swirl on it, you can taste that brown sugar in it. It is delicious. You guys have got to try this one. I hope that you have enjoyed this recipe. Give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell for notifications so you'll get all of our recipes as they post. And until next time, stir the pot.